and he died after all the suffering. So I cannot say, oh, because of love, I love this lady, I do this. Then you start putting the life of your unborn children or your children in risks. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Yesterday we were recording video and a question came up about my marriage, and I said I'm going to do a story time about it because I believe it's going to help somebody, and it's going to encourage people probably that have been in my own situation, in a case like mine. So please just listen, and yeah. So 2016 October 15th precisely, I was preparing for my wedding, which is supposed to take place on that same dates, all those the dates I've mentioned. But something happened in that process that the wedding couldn't hold anymore, and a lot of questions. As I'm thinking about this thing, I'm just thinking a lot of questions came as a result of that particular situation. Some persons, last year I was talking to the girl in question, that's the person I was supposed to get married to, and she told me that some person have said some things to her directly, that this is why the marriage didn't work, that she was pregnant or she was sick, that was why the wedding didn't work. Guys, there was nothing like that. She wasn't pregnant, we didn't know ourselves, we didn't do anything of that of sort, and she was not sick. Those of you that did biology, you know what they call genotype, and when you are AS, you cannot get married to a person that is AS or SS. An AS can only get married to an AA person. An AA can get married to SS, can get married to AS. So in my own case, unfortunately or fortunately, I am still AS, and she was AS. You will now say, where did the confusion now comes in? Because you are AS, why did you plan this wedding? The confusion came from years before now. While we were dating, courting, I went to a clinic in our office, and I talked to the nurse about my genotype. I don't really know my genotype, and things like that. She now said, okay, no problem, I should come to the clinic and give her my blood. She should take my blood sample and go and run a test for me. I said okay. I went, gave her, she took my blood sample, she went and did the test and came back with the result, I think after 2 days or so. And on the result I saw that I'm AA. So I was so excited at that, meaning I can marry anybody, I can marry AS, I can marry SS. So, and while we were courting, me and the lady in question that I was supposed to get married to, I asked her about her genotype. She said, yeah, she knew it, and she done that in school already, so she knew that she's AS. I said, okay, me I'm AA, that means we are good to go. I'll have to do another story time to tell you guys how I met her, how we started courting and all that, because it's a very, 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 very interesting and a long story. So that happened, and I thought I was AA and she was AS. So we were planning for the wedding. I went, I paid for dowry, we fixed dates, we my suit was ready. The suit were ready. Not only my suit, the best man, the brother, my suit, everything was ready. The material, the color of the day, the decoration, everything. I think we paid for some stuffs already. Meanwhile, as I was planning for that wedding, my brother was also planning for a wedding. We are going to wed the same day, same date, the same church. So everything was planned. We made plans and everything. I think a month or 2 months to the wedding, the sister in question, her elder sister is a pastor, is a pastor, so she invited us. She said we should come to her place in Bauchi, because that was where my lady grew up. She grew up with her. It's like her mom. So she said that we have to come for counseling and also to do another test, because that is the procedure in their church. If they're giving out their any of their church member, that is, you have to do this, and you have to do it in the church, because they have a private doctor that you go and visit to do all those stuff. I was like, okay, no problem. I travel, I took leave, I went to Bauchi. I went to Maiduguri. On my way coming back, I branched to Bauchi. I met her, we gisted. We were so, like, so happy to see her, see the mom and the sister. We went for counseling, and the sister really gave us good advice. She really likes me. All of the family members, they actually they love me. So after everything said and done, we went to the hospital. They took my blood sample, they took hers, and I said, okay, I have to come back because I am supposed to resume work that same week. Came back to Port Harcourt, resumed my work. After about 2-3 days, I got a call from the sister. Bro Beatrice, how are you? I'm fine. Said, about that genotype issue, please, did you say you are AS? I said, yeah. Sorry, did you say you're AA? I said, yes. He said, are you sure about that? I said, yes. Okay. Please, can you go? Do you have any nearest clinic around that you can go and do tests? Because you guys' results came out, but there's an issue with the result. I said, okay. I went to the clinic when I did the test, and the result came out that I'm AX. So she called me and said, how far? I said, yeah, this is his thing, and I'm not too sure. Maybe I have to go to another clinic, because no, this is not my result. So I went to another clinic, run the test, same thing, AS. Meanwhile, this is happening between me and her. The sister was not aware of this new development, because we are already ready, preparing for everything. Dowry has been paid, everything. So you can't come out with this kind of news and start telling somebody that you guys cannot marry because of this, because of that. So since I asked her, I said, is my wife to be aware of this new development? She said no, that please, I should not tell her, because she don't know how she's going to take it, but she will find out time to tell her. It's okay, no problem. But my wife to be called me that same moment as I was talking to her sister. She called me. I said, how are you? I said, I'm fine. She said, no, you are not fine. I can hear it from your voice. What is the problem? I said, no, I am fine. I was just on the phone with your sister. She said my sister called you. Say yes, and she didn't call me. I hope all is well. I said, yeah, all is well. I'm fine. I believe she will call you. That's what I told her. I said she will call you. We're just talking about some things. But she insisted. She said, no, you must. I think something is wrong. The way you are talking and the way you are sounding, I know that you are not okay. What is going on? Tell me, I can take it. I said, I couldn't just keep telling her, your sister. I said, okay, this is the situation. I went to the hospital and we did it. We ran a test and came out that AS. Said what? Say, hang up the call. Call her sister. Say, sister relayed the message to her. She called me, started crying, and all that. It's a long story, brethren. So we we were seriously devastated because, just as I've said earlier on, everything is prepared, everything is in place already for the wedding. So the next thing for us is to start praying and start fasting, and that was what came to mind. I told her, I said, okay, this thing is actually reversible, it can be changed. Can we pray? Can we fast? We said okay. We prayed for 3 days, fasted, and after that 3 days of prayer and fasting, we went back to the clinic to run the same test. The result came out the same. But then there's a lot of things were going on. People like relatives, family, parents, calls were just coming from every direction and with their voices. This one will say, no, don't do this. This one will say, you guys have faith, try it. You guys. So, on our own, because I got a call from a family that member that I cannot actually disclose now, even though it's a past tense. She called me and said, okay, this is not okay, and this is not, I don't think it's good for you guys to continue with this. I said, okay, no problem, but we are not just giving up. We still, even though the date just remaining like a month, and so date is coming up. The only thing that was remaining, because I was like, okay, we are not going to make an invitation card yet. We'll wait maybe probably a month or a few weeks, so that people will not, you won't just give them an invitation and they just drop it in the office or somewhere and they can't remember the date. So maybe once it's like maybe 3 weeks or 2 weeks, you can share. That was the only thing that was remaining that we didn't do. So that was how it went down, and we have to call off the wedding, because the truth of the matter is that we prayed, we fasted. It's not as if we don't have faith. We have faith. I'm a man of faith, she's a woman of faith, and we tried in our own way, and nothing have changed. Even till today is 28th of January 2021. This is almost 6 years after that, and the lady in question is still single, though I learned that she's getting married soon. And it has a way of affecting us. I'm not saying that because of what happened we were not able to move on with our life or things like that. No, we moved on with our life. Everybody, and we communicate often, we call each other, we encourage each other, we pray for each other. We are good friends even before anything. So the marriage didn't work. It's not because anybody is sick, it's because we don't love each other or we don't have faith. It's because of this simple fact that we are of the same genotype. She's AS and I'm AS. And it's, if you know anything about genotype, you know that it's not advisable for you to go into marriage when you know your medical record like that, because you are going to put yourself in an issue. Your children. I knew of somebody, a guy that was sickle cell, that we grew up together. I saw the suffering, I saw the pain, blood transfusion almost after 3 months. They'll take him to hospital, do that, drugs. They spend a lot of money. At the end of the day, this guy finished his university, served, and he died after all the suffering. So I cannot say, oh, because of love, I love this lady, I do this. Then you start putting the life of your unborn children or your children in risks. It's not just going to be about them now. It has a way of disturbing and destroying your life, because I saw what that thing did to that family. I saw what that sickle cell did to that family. So it's not advisable for anybody to see, after knowing your medical record, and you still go ahead and say, oh, I love that, I love my my wife to be, I love my husband to be, so I can actually go ahead and marry him. Go ahead and marry him, or go ahead and marry her. Have faith. It's possible for you to give birth to children that are not SS, but the chances are very small. So you don't play with such things. So that was why the wedding was called off. And my advice to you guys out there, single brothers, single sisters that are out there, please go to the clinic, go to the hospital, and know your genotype before you even start talking to any lady about anything, relationship or marriage. Because what is the essence of relationship if you are not going to end up marrying that person? So before start making that move, oh, I like this lady, go and check. And you don't just wait until maybe you are in love and things have started moving, you started planning for wedding, and then you start asking what's your genotype. No, as you are talking, as you are becoming friends, ask her, sis, do you know your medical record? Can you go and check? It's good for you to know. Don't talk as if, don't tell her as if you are telling her to go and do it because of you. No, tell her to go and do it because of probably somebody else that is going to come into her life. Because now you are just being friends. You are not telling her you want to marry or anything. So by that, she can go and do it and get her own result and know. Then from there, you will know either to pursue the relationship to become something that you want to for you guys to fall in love and end up getting married, or you just let go when you know that, okay, this is the medical this thing status. So please, my advice to everyone, please, as a brother, as a sister, try and know your friends. Ask them, do you know your genotype? Do you know your status? Go and do that. It's very important, so that you don't invest years and then later you start saying, oh, I know, and sometimes mistake can happen, just like my own. It's not as if I maliciously did that, knowing that I'm AS, and I continue pursuing the girl. No, it's because there was a there's a miss up somewhere because of the test I did, the first test I did in the clinic at my place of work. Maybe they gave me somebody's results. I don't know how it happened, but so don't wait for such things to happen before you start taking decision on your own. Go to hospital, check, so that you get yourself ready and you don't start telling stories like I'm telling today. I'm not regretting anything. It's a lesson. That's why I'm talking to you guys today, so that in case anybody, or for some persons that have been in my situation, to know that they are not alone, that there are people like us that have gone far in preparation and have been in love with somebody, and then things like that happen, and you have to like cut ties with those people. Not, I mean, when I say cut ties, then those people become your enemy. No, what I mean is that you stop the process. And so I guess that's what happened. So please, to clear answer the question based on the previous video, and to also fulfill the promise, because I said I'm going to come up here and do a story time. And that's the story, and that's the lesson there is that try and know your genotype. So guys, thank you so much, and thanks for listening. God bless you. Do have a wonderful day. Love you. Bye.